Welcome back. You're watching Nation Tonight. Will the real Bitcoin owner please stand up? Well, that's the question a UK court is seeking to find answers to. A big battle is underway as we speak over who the real creator of Bitcoin is. A man who goes by the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto for years has been claiming that he is the man behind cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Australian computer scientist Craig Wright says the real man behind this pseudonym is him. However, he has failed to back his claims and the crypto world is not buying his claims. Now, a group called the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, or COPA, has taken Craig Wright to court. They have the support of former Twitter owner Jack Dorsey as well. They refute Wright's claims. Over the years, Wright's claims and the widespread skepticism around them have led to several legal clashes. In fact, last month, Craig Wright had even offered to settle this case, but COPA rejected his offer. And with this case, COPA hope to stop Craig Wright from challenging others who are working to develop Bitcoin-related projects. Remember, back in 2022, he won a case against a blogger who said his Nakamoto claim was fake. However, Wright only got a tiny amount of £1 in damages. The current trial will tackle various cases related to the identity dispute. The verdict could affect the rules and procedures of how the Bitcoin system works, especially since Wright supports a version called the Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, or the BSV. So that by far has been the case. Let's get more perspective on this and understand the impact that it might have on the world of cryptocurrency. Joining me on the broadcast, Advocate PM Mishra is a lawyer, international regulatory consultant on crypto as well. Mr. Mishra, welcome. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. How do you see this case really? You know, it's an interesting battle of who the real owner of Bitcoin is. We know that Nakamoto is one name that has always been around, always claimed to have put Bitcoin right at the center stage of the crypto world. But how do you see this case really?
Mr. Wright would like to, just claim on a, no claim, the claim he is having right now is absolutely baseless. Reason, he doesn't have any private key. Where is those Bitcoin reserve? He doesn't have that proof. But at the same time, why? He has already owned, if you see his background, okay, he's a computer scientist, that's okay. But in all the courts, that's because no one else is there to prove that he's Satoshi Nakamoto. Even the question is, who said Satoshi Nakamoto is the creator? That, is there any document? Is there any white paper? Yes, the white paper is there. But the white paper code is different than the Wright, whatever Wright is claiming right now. So he doesn't have any proof. But yes, the way he is trying to prove it is, sometimes he is acting like a blackmailer in the whole game of this Bitcoin claim that he's the
Mr.
owner.
Mishra, back in 2022, in the case that he was fighting, is where he claimed that the hard drive that had all these claims, all these, evidences to support his claims was actually destroyed.
Yeah, so see, at the end of the day, if you are there in the court, you must have adequate evidence. In most of the cases, till now, whatever he fought in different courts, like in Miami, in New York as well, in a few of the cases, he won even. The reason is, the other party doesn't have even any evidence to show that Wright is not the Satoshi Nakamoto. So it's like, there is no one to claim the land, so Wright first reach over there and saying that land belongs to me. But at the same time, he doesn't have any proof. So maybe UK court right now, COPA is against Wright, and hopefully the decision will go with COPA only.
Okay, Mr. Mishra, in case the decision does go with COPA, would there be no one then who's going to be named as the owner of Bitcoin? It remains ownerless then?
Frankly speaking, the vision, whatever the person, and if you go through the 2008 white paper, that's available on internet in different ways. So if you find that, you can understand the vision is itself Satoshi Nakamoto. And the person who is behind the scene, frankly speaking, if you ask me, then I always say it's not a person. There must be an organization, a country, even. Because if you see the way Bitcoin being accepted by different countries without naming the country, I'm saying, and the Ethereum accepted by few of the countries. So who knows? The country is behind it rather than a person. So that's always ambiguity. They want it should be ambiguous. They want to confuse the world. Who is the owner? That's the whole game is all about.
You know what's also interesting, Mr. Mishra, is that the owner remains ambiguous, the currency itself remains rather ambiguous, because here we are talking about a virtual currency. It's nowhere in our hands. It's all happening through blockchain and all of that. But, you know, then, of course, COPA also says that by crediting or attributing the ownership to one person or one company or one country, it will limit the kind of innovation and the kind of research that can go around in crypto. But can we also expect COPA to remain as unbiased as, you know, as supportive in the long run?
I would say, please go through the COPA's member. You'll understand what the game is all about. The next generation, you know, see, it's a kind of, when you say Bitcoin, that's a technology, nothing else. When you say virtual, yeah, it's on a technology. And I'm a great supporter of blockchain, and Bitcoin is itself, it's okay. But when you say it's ownerless, no. Someone is there, but that owner is not an individual. It's an organization backed by a country. Who is what, that other countries should interpret and understand. From where the first exchange come from where the first Bitcoin, which is that country, which was that country. And now, who is indirectly coming up with ETF? Right now, the first Bitcoin ETF is already on the roll. So we need to understand that. And yes, COPA's member, who is the main member? X, Twitter, Dorsey is behind the scene, COPA. And now they're fighting against the Australian guy that are right. So at the end of the day, there is an intention of ruling the world in next generation through Bitcoin. And even some of their presidential candidate, they are talking about maybe the next reserve will not be the gold, but the Bitcoin. We need to understand that and act in that way. You know, other countries are trying to acquire this Bitcoin, and they are saying that we have X amount of Bitcoin as a reserve. So we need to go through it and understand that someone is behind, some countries behind, and it's all about lobby.
And therefore, Mr. Mishra, in terms of regulating the crypto world, how do you see it happening in India? Because the government has been very cautious when we talk about cryptocurrency. We've neither accepted it or not denied it. We're just playing a very safe game right now. But how do you see this really panning out in India then?
See, at the end of the day, it's a technology, it's an innovation, the world is moving towards it. We need to be cautious, that's okay, fine. But we have to regulate it, and we can regulate it. We even can't regulate the cash and gold, but remember, we can regulate the technology, and we have enough strength, we have enough technical strength in our country to support it. And we can very easily come up with the regulation. There is no issue. And we have to at least start with a kind of, we can go for a special economic zone in our country. Regulate it first inside the same. Experiment it and come up with as a leader in the Bitcoin revolution. But if at all will be really, really cautious, then same way, like internet revolution. If you see internet revolution, US has taken all the advantage of it. We'll lag behind. In future, we'll realize why not we take any step. So hopefully this government will understand, maybe in 2024, after the election, government will come up with some kind of regulation. That's what we hope.
Okay, we'll have to see how it pans out, Mr. Mishra. Thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective and thoughts on this battle that is playing out in the UK court. Hopefully, let's see who gets this victory and how this verdict will impact the future of cryptocurrency. We will, of course, have to see. But for now, we'll leave it there. Mr. Mishra, thank you very much for joining us.